So, Sonam, tell me, mindfulness and life coaching, that's such
Yeah.
an interesting journey. Tell us more.
Where do I begin? You want me to backtrack all the way?
Yeah, sure,
Well,
go for it.
okay, I'm going to try and keep this short, but no, I can't help but mention that I think for me, all of this began in my childhood. Spirituality has been something that's been part of my life since then. Growing up in a spiritual family, it's probably not something very unique. If you're growing up in India, it's all around you. It started like that, at the age of 14, 15, picking up an Osho book or a Swami Vivekanand book from my granddad's library. Then I would see my parents, my grandparents practicing yoga, so just joining them in their pranayam or their yoga nidra practice, falling asleep while doing it. I think that's how it kind of started. My parents, grandparents were trained healers, so it was very normal for my sister and I to have Reiki done in the house or pranic healing. So yeah, and the reason I mention this is that it's played a huge part in my subconscious. It's been there all around me, and I think that was quite foundational for me in some sense. Then, of course, as I started studying and working, I think just started noticing these patterns of me having existential questions pretty early on in life. I also noticed a pattern around me making choices or taking decisions that was the experience of which was quite tough. And as a young person, that got me questioning that why am I choosing these paths when I could be doing something that's a lot more straightforward or simpler for me. So kind of inflicting that journey upon myself, and one thing led to another, and that's why in the last 15 years of my career, I've this is my third career in some sense, and I think it's just taught me so much about myself that I just like is an understatement. I really, really enjoy the process of personal development. And I think it's just brought me, the decisions that I took, the steps that I took brought me closer and closer to who I was as a person. And that was very important for me. So I think as tough as the journey was, it didn't matter. And I was willing to kind of pay that price because it really was that important to me. And how spirituality comes in is that it's been a huge enabler for me in this path of personal growth. So yeah, I think thereafter it was just a matter of how can I help others with their journeys and bring in what I've learned, what I'm continuing to learn. So I trained, I studied for a few years, did my certifications to be able to teach this professionally as a coach, as a mindfulness teacher. So in a nutshell, that's where my motivations came from. That's what my background was like. And I guess that's why I'm where I'm at. You never know. It's always, an evolving journey. You don't know where it's going to take you. But here I am.
I would say in the last 15 years, there has been so much of self-reflection, self-awareness work, introspection that I've done in trying to, if I can say, decode my own choices or the decisions that I've made in life. Because honestly, they were confusing even for me. I didn't know why I was choosing certain paths or going down certain, choices. And through all of that reflection, I think what became really clear to me is that for me, personal growth and transformation is what matters the most. I think it's something that I value the most in life. I can confidently say that through, my journey. I found myself oddly, voluntarily, and actively kind of seeking out, growth opportunities, whether it was in career, choices, relationships, family planning. All of my, when I think back, my entire mindset around these things was like, let's do it. It's going to be an uphill climb. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to grow. And honestly, this has taken a while for me to understand, because it was, again, like I said, it was quite confusing because, you live in a world that is quite different, and you are you, right? You're a unique individual, and it's not easy for people around to necessarily understand when you yourself are not very clear and articulate with what's happening in, the voices in your head.
Yeah.
So that evaluation, and then just looking at my own career, as I work through different industries, geographies, and I've lived and worked in different countries, I've had that opportunity. You kind of go through solving problems for different kinds of clients, whether it's investment banks or it's governments. And I've done all that kind of work. So I had that, chance to to solve different kinds of problems. And every time my approach, or I would kind of gravitate to solving the human potential, or, how do we maximize or optimize for human potential? I found myself gravitating there, whether it was required for the project or not. So again, this took time. I had to really dig deep to see what's going on here. Things like, how can we do better with our mindset? Is there something that I can do, my teams can do? Can we change our perspectives around things? Can we enhance our psychological skills, work through emotional regulations, not just for me, but for the client, their team. So, and that was not my job. So there was clearly something going on there, and kind of making sense of all of that. And finally being able to put it into words, articulating it. And I think the confusing bit was that when I look at my life, I feel like I'm very fortunate. I have had great relationships. I've had few, but very deep and strong bonds in that sense. And life around me was great. I went to a great school. Things were comfortable. I had great jobs, great bosses. Honestly, externally, nothing to complain about, but there was so much of internal turmoil until I realized that, my entire, or whether you call it some kind of a stress, or the journey that I was on was a self-actualization path. And one doesn't realize that there could be stress associated even with that.
Sure.
And yeah, that is what it was. And it's taken me a very long time kind of to make sense of it. And then 5 years ago, I think it was just utterly clear to me that this is a path that I need to take. It's just too important to me. And then I quit this was the second time that I changed careers, and I moved into coaching and mindfulness about 5.5 years ago.
So before that, what was the first career, broadly speaking?
Yeah, so I was working in the financial services sector. So I studied economics in Delhi. Wow. So I did that, worked in financial services. I was working in India. Then almost within a few months of starting my career, I moved to South America. So I was working in Chile.
Oh, wow.
And
how exciting.
Yeah. So again, it was very confusing why I wanted to, sometimes leave things that were very comfortable, that were kind of, people also couldn't make sense of it. Why do you want to leave? You're doing so well. And I had all of these experiences. Then I also moved to France, where I was working with the UN. And then I came to Singapore. I was working with the UN and the Singapore government, which also I left. So, clearly there was something going on. Again, like I said, even I was confused to some extent that why am I choosing this? So it's taken a while. I wouldn't say it was a very obvious thing. It's taken a lot of reflection and self-awareness work.
No, I applaud you, and I applaud your willpower and your guts to be able to just change cities, change jobs, move across the world. Not everybody can do it. It takes a lot, and I can understand why perhaps people around you were questioning that you're in such a good place, you're in a comfortable zone. Why are you moving out of it? And that's what happens. Like, you have to make yourself uncomfortable and get out of that comfort zone sometimes to really find yourself.